Hello, Jennifer Tochi here. And I usually wait till later at night to do my video under this subject. I wait until somebody else does his, but I decided to do mine now because I just got finished watching it for the 10th time since Wednesday. Yeah, so and I've always loved this movie, and it's for 80's archives. Yeah. Um, Good old Hobbs Horror thought of that. Reviewing 80's movies every Monday. Any subject you want, but I tend to like 80's comedies. And on my channel, I've done enough horror on my other ones that I like to do 80's archives. So thank you, Hobbs, for thinking of this, and I love doing this. Okay, so yes, 1985. Just one of the guys. Yes. A girl who wants to be an intern at the. Sorry, I forgot what newspaper it was. But it's a professional newspaper. See, let's just call it the New York Times. That's good. She has to put her article in with her journalist teacher. She's a senior in high school. And he picks one of the people from their high school, kind of the more, I'd say, spoiled high school. And then the other journalist from Sturgis Waller High School has to pick picks one of their favorites, and people read them and decide who gets the internship for the summer. So Terry, played by Joyce Heiser, known for Valley Girl and Staying Alive. Not Saturday Night Fever, Staying Alive, yes. Her journalist teacher doesn't put her article up, and she sneaks into his office to see why he didn't like her article, and it just says good on it, and it's got a circle around it. And as she's doing that, her journalist teacher comes in with another teacher, and they're talking about her and saying how they should flunk her so they can keep her a year because those legs. And the journalist teacher says, you keep talking like that, you're gonna get fired. So, of course, Terry and that conversation she hears, and then she has a boyfriend. I'm looking for his name. I did not write it down because Kevin, who she has a college boyfriend, and she tells him after school how angry she is. He doesn't seem to care. He says, why don't you be a model? So she thinks because she's so pretty that nobody's taking her seriously, her article seriously. So she thinks about it. She decides she's going to change herself into a boy and start going to Sturgis Waller, the other high school, dressed as a guy. She makes a pretty cute guy, too. Yeah. Not as cute as some of the other guys, but hey. Yes. She also has a little brother named Buddy, who was played by Billy Jacoby, but he's also named Billy Jayne, Jayne. He was in Cujo and the Beast Master. Yes, this movie gave me a big crush on Billy Jacoby. He plays Buddy. Buddy is basically sex obsessed little brother. That's how you explain him. Yes. And let's see. There's also Bad Boy from Karate Kid, Billy Jacoby. Not Billy Jacoby. What am I talking about? I still got my head in Buddy. Greg Tolan, the bully from Sturgis Waller, played by William Zabka. Terry learns that when she's not a beautiful girl dressed in short skirts and everything, she's treated kind of weird, like she's weird. And Greg Tolan, played by William Zabka, that hottie from Karate Kid, and of course, Hot Tub Time Machine. Oh, and Back to School. One of those bad guys that I just can't dislike. Yes. And then there's but she puts in her same article to the other journalist teacher, and he says, your article is just so boring. Who cares about the content of school lunch meals? I don't want to know the I'm here drinking 44-ounce pop. I don't care about how good for you school lunches are. So she decides she needs to make another story. So she's going to go back to Sturgis Waller the next day and make a story out of being there. Yes, this is my narwhal pen. Yeah. And she meets Rick. Basically, one of those... how do you explain it? A guy you see and you know he's hot, but he's supposed to look like a nerd. Kind of like... how does it... Yeah. So she sees Rick and makes friends with him. He's played by Clayton Rauner from April Fool's Day. Don't like that movie. Just because of the ending. Not telling the ending though. And The Relic, yes. She decides to do a makeover on him and get him a date to the prom. Pretty cool. But little does Terry know that Sherilyn Fenn, the actress, who's named Sandy in this movie, you know, Sherilyn Fenn, if you need a hot girl, go get her. 'Cause, man, she was hot. She still is hot. From Boxing Helena, and The Wildlife, you know. She plays Sandy, and she looks at Terry and says, he dresses like Elvis Costello. Looks like the Karate Kid. I'm gonna get him. Uh-oh. who else? Oh, they're my favorite weirdos. These two kind of remind me of summer school. Their names are Willie and Phil. And they say they are aliens sent down from another planet to find out about Earthlings. And they have their own code of talking. And they make wonderful one-liners, jokes. I love them. Played by Ari Gross and Robert Fieldsteel. I know Errol Gross from Soul Man. Ooh, not a movie that can be made today. There you go, Soul Man. And The Experts. Yeah. Yeah, let's see. And my favorite weirdo of the movie, Reptile Sherbico. Yes, that's his name. He calls himself Reptile Sherbico. Played by Stuart Charno. One of my favorite red-headed nerds when he comes out to play in the... I think this character in this movie is what got me into reptiles so much. He's always got a reptile with him. He's in the gym. He's got a chameleon, a horned chameleon with him. He's got a snake in the lunchroom. He's in gym class. He says he's got his little huge bearded dragon looking thing on a leash. He says, "Careful, reptile coming through. Be careful. Watch those toes." Yeah. And he just loved his reptiles and constantly carried them around. I believe, and my first reptile was named Sherbico. Yes. He passed away a long time ago. It was an iguana. And his name was Sherbico. Imagine that. Yes. Okay. There's characters I like. Okay. So she decides that she's gonna get Rick a date. And little does she know, she's falling in love. And her best friend keeps coming in from the other. Her college boyfriend keeps looking in on her, and she's out doing stuff, being male Terry, trying to get Rick a date and trying to teach him to be cool. And then so her college boyfriend is missing her. Her friend from her first high school, her best friend, is always there to make jokes. And of course, Buddy's always there. But little does she know, she's falling in love with Rick, the uncool guy she made cool. Yes. Does she get the man? Does she get Rick? And I've also made a top 10. And if you don't want to hear sleaze, don't listen to this part. Pre-warning to everybody. I have made Buddy top 10 of my favorite Buddy quotes. Yes. Terry's sex-obsessed brother. Billy Jacoby. Yes. Okay. In what part of the movie, Terry asks her brother, "Aren't you embarrassed?" And Buddy says, "Horny, will kick embarrassment's ass every time. So that's number 10. And then another time, he's trying to show his sister how to stand like a guy. He says, hey, stick that hip out. Put your legs to the side. Guys take up space. Yeah. And then number 8, the male body needs sex at all times. It's a living hell. Number 7, would it make any difference at all if I told you I'm hung like a bear? Okay. And then the closest thing I've come to sex is a girl who took her top off to seduce my sister. Number 5. Shut up, clock. Oh, gosh. I'm trying to be sleazy here. You're not helping me playing Christmas music. Okay. Number 5. Very crucial. Something every guy does. Let me see you scratch your balls. Another thing he says to his sister. Okay, number 4. Can I be honest with you? Your touch is the reason I went through puberty. Number 3. The only reason Barbara does her physics homework buck naked is because that library's hot. That's after he fills his walls and his chairs with Playboy those pictures that you undo. I don't you know what I mean. Okay. Number 2. I've had lots of sex. Just now, I'd like to try it with a partner. And my number 1 favorite of Buddy is today's woman has the freedom to be just as sick, as perverted as us guys. So that's my Buddy top 10. I'm sorry if I went on, but I'm a Buddy fan. I'm a fan of this movie. And now, I have a feeling I'm going to go watch it again. So, me and my narwhal pen say, oh, and just one of the guys say bye.